This lesson is going to show you how to use CorelDRAW with the basic tools and working with different graphics. So again, to start this up, click the window button, type in CorelDRAW, register later if you need to, start a new blank document. The last lesson we talked about these tools over here, the freehand tool, square, rectangle, ellipse, polygon, basic shape tool. So today what we're going to do is we're going to use those and work with those graphics. Now, if you create a square, there's a couple things you can do with it. So we're going to make an old-fashioned TV. So if we do this, there's the face of a TV. And if we start over here, we can draw another section of the TV. Now, with this highlighted, with those black dots on there, and if they're not on there, then click on this little arrow, the pick tool, and click on it, and you should get the black dots. What we want to do is make that a little thicker. On our engraving, if you don't have a thick enough line, it's not going to show up very well. So you can click this little outline tool, and if you go down to 8 point, you can see that the lines get thicker, and that's going to show up better for you. Okay? Now, these two pieces are independent of each other. They're not the same. So if you have a shape that is not even with this, you can click on it, get those dots, and you'll notice that the arrow turns into an up and down arrow on this little black dot. I can then drag that out to get it to be even. Same thing with these will drag it for the height and the width, and then this would just be for the width. So we can get those even. And then if we take an ellipse, and if we hold the control key down, we're going to get a perfect circle. And what I'm going to do then is I'm going to take a rectangle tool, and inside of that, I'm going to draw a rectangle like this, and this is going to be the channel turning knob. Now the problem that I have with those two things is that they're independent. So if I move this, they don't move together. So I'm going to click undo, I'll go back there. And what I want to do is click my pick tool, and I want to highlight both those, put a box around both of those. And then I'm going to hit Control G for group. Now these two, no matter what I do, they're together, they're grouped together. Now I want to put these up in here, but it's too big, so if I click on it twice, I'll get these arrows. That'll rotate it, so we can turn the knob so it's a little bit different. And then if I click on it once, I can grab one of these corners and I can make them smaller. And so make it small enough so it will fit inside of there. Now we want to make two of these, so we can copy and paste it, but the easier way is to hit a Control D for duplicate. And if this pops up, just click OK, and it will duplicate the same thing. And now I can put a knob here, and if I double-click this, I can change the rotation of the knob so it looks like they're on different channels. And when I have that plus that, the plus right there, then I can move it so I'd have my two knobs in here. Okay? If I want to make an antenna, old-fashioned rabbit ears, if you click the freehand tool, go to the top here and click, then you can just click and release and then drag it out. And then you'll notice that this will snap right to the middle, and if I click and release, I can drag it back out and I have my antennas. All right? If you want to do something on the inside, if you want to make some sort of face, you could go into polygon tool and go to spiral, and you can make a couple eyes. Now if I wanted to keep these facing the same direction, if I click my pick tool on that, you'll see there's these horizontal and vertical mirrors. If I click that now, this is mirrored to the same direction, they go in the same way. I can also go to the freehand tool and I can make a mouth to this, and then I have a TV. If I want that all to be all one, click the pick tool, highlight it all, Control G, and now this is all one unit, one space. Okay? Now, with that, we can also take and do a couple other tools. So I'm going to do this really quick. So I'm going to go to the ellipse tool, and we're going to make a face. Oops, didn't get it. Click the ellipse tool, draw the head. You can use whatever you want. I'm going to use these spirals for hair. Whee! Spiral for hair. And then I could take the oval tool and I could make eyeballs. And if I want to make another eyeball, I could put one in here and have her eyes like this. And I could also fill those. So once it's highlighted, I can come over here and click anything on the side. So if I want to get that other one, I can click on it and click on the eyeball, and I can click color there. So there's the eyes. Now this one didn't really fit in there, so I can take and I can move it so it's up a little bit higher. Use the freehand tool. I can make a nose and mouth, and there's my person. Now, if I take this tool and highlight it all, pick tool and highlight it all, and group it, Control G. Now I can do a couple things with this. I could rotate the head, and you can rotate it around. I can elongate the head, so if I click and just get these black dots, I can make it longer, and I can make it narrower. Okay, if I grab the corners, I can do it all at the same time. Okay. If I do something that I don't like, I can always hit the undo tool. The undo is right here, so now I just stretched it. Now I can redo that if I really like that. Now here's a tool that looks pretty good. You can distort the objects. So down on the bottom, there's these little orange dots. This interactive blend tool. If you click the arrow, the black arrow by it, you can go to envelope. And what this does is if you take one of these little dots, you can push it in and boom, your face will get distorted. And you can do this with any object that has a shape on it. You can distort the person on there. Now, if you get to a point where you don't really like it, you can go up on the top, and if you see on this white line, go to Effects, Clear Envelope, it will go back to it. So again, it was the 3 orange buttons. You go down to the Envelope tool, and then you can grab those tools and smush your person. Okay? There's a fire alarm. Time to stop the video.